I've had a request for some Scottish history, so this is the Black Dinner. For those who don't know, this is what the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones was based off. That and the Glencoe Massacre and a bit of Macbeth. And it all starts with the assassination of a king in 1437. James I gets stabbed brutally to death underneath a priory in Perth. Oh no, rough days for the House of Stuart. However, the assassins kind of do a half measure, because they don't take out his wife, Joan Beaufort, as well, because she's a woman and she doesn't seem like a threat. Lol, no, she later put out a hit on them. But they don't take out the old king's son, also called James, now James II of Scotland. So James II is now the King of Scotland. However, he is also 7 years old and not old enough to rule in his own right. So he's placed under the care of a regent, a very powerful regent called Archibald Douglas, the 5th Earl of Douglas. Now these were the Black Douglases, the ones that had risen to power because of Robert the Bruce. They had money, they had power, but most dangerously of all, because of some strategic marriages, they had claims on the Scottish throne. However, Archibald Douglas is not regent for long. He dies of dysentery or a fever, one of the two 2 years later. Now his heir, William Douglas, is about 15, 16 at the time. He's not really old enough to be a regent, and that's when the wolves come a-sniffing. Namely two, Alexander Livingston, the Lord of Callendar, and William Crichton, the first Lord of Crichton and the Lord Chancellor. Now Crichton and Livingston, they want to be in the king's good graces when he comes of age. So they go, oh, well, we'll foster him at Edinburgh. Douglases aren't really happy, but they can't do anything, so they give up James. But Crichton and Livingston, they don't like the Douglases. William Douglas is behaving too much like his father. He's powerful, he's ruthless, he's popular, he's doing deals with the Royal House of France. That's king business. So they go, we've got to get rid of him. But how to do it? He travels around with a very large retinue, so he can't be attacked in the field. So in 1440, the plan is hatched. They send him a very sweet letter going, oh, we're sorry for all the hostilities, but the king could really use your advice. He wants you on the council to manage Scottish affairs. Come to dinner at Edinburgh. And William's very flattered by the letter. You know, he decides to go. He brings his younger and only brother David. After all, what's he got to worry about? Guest right and hospitality are huge in Scotland. So they arrive at Edinburgh, the feast begins, and James II is there. And he and the Douglas boys get on like a house on fire. They're laughing, they're joking, they're having a good old time, but then a drum starts playing. The main course is coming in. But instead of the feast, it is a black bull's head on a platter, a symbol of death. The Douglases realize they've been tricked, but it's too late. Men surround them and drag them outside. James II screaming all the while this is happening. You know, he's pleading for their lives, but his pleas fall on deaf ears. And the Douglas boys are dragged into the courtyard where they're given a mock trial before they're both beheaded. One of the darkest moments in Scottish history.